Hello guys and welcome back to TechWolf and welcome to this CMD or command prompt course, and shortcut for command prompt is CMD. In this tutorial we will learn how to open command prompt, how to close it, and what is CMD and why we even need CMD or why we even need the command prompt in Windows computers. We will learn each command separately, where I will explain you the commands which you can use in command prompt, and I will show you also the most use cases how these commands are used, and after this course you will know everything about command prompt. So let's start discussing and understanding what exactly is CMD or command prompt. Think of it as a tool that lets you communicate directly with your computer. While most of us are used to clicking icons and using menus, CMD is like having a conversation with your system using text commands. It might look simple, but don't let that fool you. CMD is incredibly powerful. And to open a CMD in Microsoft Windows, in search type in CMD, or you can start typing command prompt. And when you start typing a command prompt, you will see very first icon, which is system icon, command prompt, and if you click into it, it will open a command prompt. And there is another way how you can open a command prompt. Let's close this down. Another way how you can open it and do it much faster is if you type in search CMD and hit enter. And this will do exactly the same, and it will open a command prompt. And there are two ways how you can use command prompt. One is when you are using as administrator, and another way is that you are using your CMD or command prompt as a user. If you would like to use it in administrative mode, you also can type in CMD or command prompt in search and right click on this icon command prompt, and here you will see run as administrator. So click on run as administrator, and for some commands you will need to run CMD or command prompt as administrator to be able to use all features of that particular command or to interact with your system. So why do we even need CMD when we already have a graphical interfaces? Great question. CMD gives you more control and flexibility. One thing is it lets you do things faster, automate repetitive tasks, troubleshoot issues, and even access features that aren't always available in the graphical interface. Whether you are a beginner or a pro, CMD is the tool that helps you unlock the full potential of your computer, which you will see when we will be going over the commands. We will explore how to navigate, manage files, check network connectivity, and run useful commands step by step. And by the end of this course you will feel confident using CMD for everyday tasks and more. And in this tutorial I will also show you how you can close and how you can clear your CMD. So first we have learned how to open. First was if you type in command prompt in a search and you click simply on this icon command prompt and you open a CMD or command prompt in a user mode. Or another way was if you would want to open it, you type in CMD and hit simply enter, and you can also open it in user mode. Another way, like I mentioned, is if you type in search command prompt and you right click on the icon if you would like to run it as administrator, and you select here in this pop-up run as administrator, and you are running CMD or command prompt in administrative mode. And this will be required for some commands if you would want to fully interact, and you must have these administrative rights. And first thing what you will see here is C column / users / Marty. This is my username and this triangle closing bracket, and this is the path where you are currently in the CMD. And whenever you are using CMD or command prompt, this path will also show you always where you are on your computer. For example, if you would want to access the same path on your computer, click on your file explorer. This is the folder which is usually located on your taskbar at the very bottom, or if you click on any folder on your computer system. For example, I will click on this images folder which is located on my desktop, and it opens this folder, and to get to the same path which is disk C, all you need to do here is in the left navigation at the very bottom you will see this PC. Click into this PC and here you will see this C. This is your C drive where all your files are located on your computer. In some computers you might have more than one drive, but in this particular scenario this is the main drive on our computer and this is the only drive on our computer, and that's why we are located here, and all files of this computer are located in this one drive. As you can see here, if you are clicking in this PC, you will see this drive where all files, all folders, all information on this computer or on this operating system are located in this one drive. That's why this path in our command prompt starts with C column, because this letter C, or this could be another letter for another drive, if these drives would be located here, which I will show you how to create in further videos, this letter usually indicates that this is the drive. So C column, if we click into this drive here on our user interface or GUI, this is also known as graphical user interface, here you will see more folders, and here you will also find this folder which is called users. As you can see here, if we are looking at this path, firstly we were C column backslash and then users. If we click into the users in our graphical interface, here you can see also this user Marty, and this is the folder where we are in. Marty, if we click into the Marty, here you will see all data about this particular user. As you know, on Windows computers you can create more than one user, and if you are creating more than one user, then they will have their own files in their own directory. In my scenario, I am a main user, I am administrator user, and this is my folder on drive C, and this is why we are also seeing this in C column backslash users folder and Marty user, and all folders and all files of me, of Marty user, are in this directory. But now if you would want to, for example, at any stage clear the screen, you can type in CLS command and click enter, and once you type in CLS, this is the command which also always allows you to clear the command prompt, so you can have a clear view and there are no commands which you have executed previously. And another command to close down the command prompt is simply if you type in exit and you hit enter, and this will close the command prompt or CMD. In this tutorial we are going to take a look at CD command, and this is the command that allows you to navigate your file system. Before I open a command prompt as we did in previous tutorial, let's open any folder. I will open my file explorer by clicking at the bottom of task manager, or you can click on any folder at all, and here at the bottom of the left side navigation you will see this PC. This is what we reviewed also in previous video. As you remember from previous tutorials, and in this PC, this is your drive, or there might be multiple drives on your computer. In my computer, in this scenario, we have only one drive, which is C drive. And here I'm going to explain you the passes. So if you are absolutely new to computer, to passes, and you don't understand the ways how to navigate from one folder to another and what is the pass, here I'm going to give you a quick explanation. If we click in this PC, this is C, and here at the top you see the path. If you click to the right from this path, as you can see this says this PC, if you click to the right you will see that currently we are in this PC. But if we click into the C and we do exactly the same, and if we will click here to the right from this navigation, you see that we are currently in C drive. This is the drive which we entered, and like I mentioned, this is the only drive which is available on this particular computer. In other computers you might have a D drive or B drive or any other drives which would be indicated as letter and this column. And here you can see users folder. If we click into the users, and also we do exactly the same here at the navigation bar to the right, we click in, we will see that currently we are in C column backslash and we are in users folder. And here if you will have more than one user on your computer, you will be able to see their folders here in this particular users directory. As you can see, my users directory is called Marty. This is my username. And if I will click into this Marty, and also here at the very top on the navigation bar to the right, I will click into the navigation bar. Here you will see this path C column / users. We are in users directory and we are in Marty directory. And if we now open a command prompt, like you remember from last tutorial, you can type in command prompt and you can click here on this icon command prompt, or you can type in simply CMD and hit enter, and this will open a command prompt. And here you first thing what you will see that every time whenever you are opening a command prompt, you are in this path C column / in users directory and in your users folder, and all your data is in this your folder. And here you will see this blinking cursor, which means that you can start executing commands in this particular directory. But now if I will open again this directory in the graphical user interface, you will see exactly the same path. And here you can see there is your downloads directory. If I will click into this downloads, and I will do exactly the same here at the very top in this navigation bar. If I will click anywhere to the right from this navigation, then you can see that currently I am in C column / in users directory, in Marty directory, in my users directory, which is my users directory, and I am in my downloads. This means that if you will have more than one user, then they all will have these files in their directory. For you it is users Marty directory. This is where your all files will be, and their files like their downloads directory, their documents, their desktop, all their files will be in their directories. So you will not be able to see their folders or their files and their information if you will be logged into the Windows as a simple user. And similar way by these passes, as you can see, if you are clicking into the desktop, if you click to the right, then you will see that you are in users Marty and desktop, or this will be your username and on your desktop, and you will be able to see all your files and folders on your desktop. As you see on my desktop, there is images folder, which you can see here, and Cisco Packet Tracer, which is here. And these are not displayed because those are hidden icons. But in general, if you would want to navigate exactly to the same place, for example, to your desktop, you could copy this path. This is only for beginners because in real life you already will know how to do it. And you could type in command CD, which is change directory, then add space, and you can paste that path in there and hit enter. And now you will see that now you have changed from users Marty to users Marty desktop, and now you are in your desktop, and this means that you have entered exactly this particular path. And if you would want to navigate back to your Marty, you could do it also by CD and typing 2 dots, because 2 dots whenever you are typing in command prompt, this means that you can navigate one path back and hit enter. And as you can see, we have returned now back to C column / users and Marty. This is my directory. So here you can also understand that you can navigate this way all other different files which you have in your directory. As from when you are in users and Marty, for example, if you would want to go to downloads, let's go back to command prompt and type in CD, because we are navigating from Marty and we have their downloads directory, and type in downloads and hit enter. And now, as you can see, I have navigated to users Marty downloads. But for example, if I would want to go to C drive, to my root directory of this particular computer, I could also do it by typing in CD, change directory, space, and then I specify where I want to go. And I want to go to C column and / and hit enter. And as you can see, now I am in my C drive. And this is how you can navigate all through your file system. And if you don't know the path of some particular folder, and if you are not familiar at the very beginning, like I mentioned, you can go and use at the very starting stages once you are learning these passes or how to navigate, or if you would want to see by using graphical user interface, you could go to this PC and you could click into the drive where is your users. By using graphical user interface, you could click into your username and to see any of the passes which you want to navigate to or where you would want to go to. At the very start, you could click into the right from the address in the navigation. Like I mentioned, if I would, for example, go into Documents folder, here also I can click in the top navigation bar and I can see the path of my Documents folder. And similar way, if we would want to get there, we could type in all paths straight away. Or for example, I could go CD, first enter users, then hit enter, and now I am in my C drive and in users directory, and I know that in my users directory there is a username which is my username, which is Marty, and I could also navigate there by typing in CD and Marty. Or I could go, for example, straight away into downloads directory by typing / and downloads and hitting enter. And here you can see that I have navigated to downloads directory, and now I can execute all other different commands in this directory. So CD command is pretty much the same what you would be using if you would be navigating files in your graphical user interface, and this is useful to know all these passes where you would want to go and how to navigate to them by using CD command in your command prompt if you would want to execute particular commands in that particular directory, or if you would want to copy files, delete files, or send files to these directories. As from previous tutorials we know now how to navigate the file system, we will learn another command how to see what is in folders which we navigate to. As you remember from previous tutorials, I will click on my file explorer, and here on the left hand side, if we navigate to the very bottom, we will see this PC. Click into this PC, and here is your C drive. You might have, like I mentioned, more than one drive on your PC, and in those drives is all information about your computer. In my scenario, I have only one drive, which is C drive, and all information about this computer is in this one drive. If we click into it, we will find here also users folder, and if we click into this users folder, we will find here all users which are on your computer. In my scenario, you can see that I have only one user, which is Marty folder, and all my information about me, all my desktop, all my downloads are in this one folder. If I click on into it, you can see I have my desktop, documents, downloads, and so on and so forth, all other information which I can access from this computer. However, as I am administrative user, I can access pretty much everything on this computer. So now let's open a command prompt. In search, type in CMD, or you could type command prompt and click on this system icon command prompt, and let's open our command prompt. As you remember from previous tutorials, we learned that we are in C drive, we are in users. As you can see here, we are in users folder, and whenever we are opening command prompt, we are in our users directory by default, and we have this blinking cursor which tells us that we can start executing, and this is exactly where we are here. If we click on top navigation, you can see that we are in C drive, we are in users directory, and I am now in my Marty directory. This is my users directory. In your scenarios, that will be your usernames. By clicking in that folder, you will be able to see all your information. But now, for example, in previous tutorials, we learned that we can navigate by using CD command. If we would want to navigate to our desktop, we can easily do it by typing CD or change directory and typing in desktop and hitting enter. And now, as you can see, I have navigated from users Marty to desktop. This means that now I am in my desktop directory, where I can see all files which are here on my desktop, which is images and Cisco Packet Tracer. If I open now back command prompt, we can use another command, which is dir command, and dir command allows us to see what is in that particular directory which we are in, and that is the directory which is the very last in this path where we have navigated to. In this scenario, we have navigated to users, Marty, and desktop. So this means that we are in desktop directory, and if we would want to see what is in this directory or in this folder, we simply type in command dir and we hit enter. And here we can see all folders and all files which are here on my desktop. If I would want to see the wide view of these directories, I could also type another command, which is dir space / and capital W and hit enter, and I would get exactly the same output. But let's say that I will go into my desktop and I will create another folder here, and I will call it, let's say, I will right click, I will select new, and I will select on folder, and I will create a new folder and I will call it my folder, and I will save it here. So now we have another folder on our desktop. So let's open a command prompt. Now before I continue, I will clean this screen. As you remember, we can do it by command CLS and hit enter, and this will simply clean the screen. It is not deleting anything, it is simply cleaning our command prompt. And now I will type in dir or directory to see what is on our desktop and hit enter. And now you will also see that I have another directory here, which is my folder. As you see, I have a directory which is my folder, which is this one on my desktop, and I have also a directory or folder which is called images, which is this one in our scenario. And I have other two files, which is for Cisco Packet Tracer, as you can see here. Actually, I will change the name of my folder as I wrote it incorrectly. So my folder, and hit enter. So this name is correct. And now again, I can type it dir to check if if it has changed, and you can see that my folder name is also changed here. But now I will open this folder on my desktop, and in this folder I will create another file. And to create a file, you right click somewhere, you hover over new and select to create a text document. In my scenario, I will click on this text document, and here I will type that this text document will be my file. You can call it however you want. I just want to demonstrate you how you can navigate by cd command, which we have learned in previous tutorial, and how you can see what is in these folders and files. So cd command is for navigation. So again, let's clean everything so we can clearly see what is on our command prompt screen, and let's type in dir to see what is now in this desktop. And now in this desktop we can see that we have these two directories, and we have also this directory which is my folder. So now let's navigate to that my folder by typing command change directory or cd space and my folder, and hit enter. And now we have navigated to users, Marty, desktop, and to my folder. And now if we want to see what is in this my folder, we also type in a command dir and hit enter. We can see that in this folder where we are located currently, there is also created this myfile.txt file, which we just created and which we located in this my folder, which is here. And as you can see, the main use case for dir or directory command is to see what is in those folders or in there where we have navigated to. And now if we would want to go back to my Marty directory, I can also do so by typing cd or change directory space, then c column / users / Marty and hitting enter. And as you can see, I have navigated back to my Marty directory. And this is my main directory where, like I mentioned, you are getting opened by default whenever you are coming into whenever you are opening a command prompt. This is your default directory. If you click on user navigation or graphical user interface, you click on this PC, you click into this C drive, click into users directory and click into your Marty or your username directory, and you will be able to see all your folders and all your files. And to see now all my folders and all my files, I simply type in a command dir or directory and hit enter, and as you can see, there is all the same folders and files which are located here in my directory. Where is my desktop, where is my apps, where is my contacts, where is my downloads, and all other directories and files which are located here. So yes guys, this is how you can use dir command. So cd command is for navigating the file system to getting from one place to another, and by using a dir command you can see what is in that particular file or folder where you have navigated to. And in this tutorial we are going to explore another command, which is md command. And to start, let's open a command line. In search type in cmd and hit enter, and this will open a command line in user mode. And as you remember from previous tutorial, we created manually this folder, my folder, and md command is exactly for that purpose. It is the command which allows you to create folders or directories. You can call them however you want, whether a folder, whether a directory. You can create folders and directories in that path where you are in. As you can see, currently I am in my Marty directory, but if I would want to go to my desktop where I am located now, I will make this command line window a little bit smaller so you can see what is happening when we are executing these commands. So first thing what we will do is, currently we are in users, Marty, but we want to navigate to our desktop, and we will use change directory or cd command, which we learned in previous tutorials to go to our desktop. So type in cd space and desktop and hit enter. And now we are on our desktop. And if I type in a command dir, which we also learned in previous tutorials, you can see all directories or all folders which are currently here on our desktop. As you see, we have images and we have my folder, and these are also reflected here on command prompt, images and my folder. And now we will use another command which is md, and this command stands for make a directory, and we will create a directory. And to use this command md, all you need to do is type in md, then space. You can give this folder any name as you want. I will call this folder new folder. You can call it, like I mentioned, anything you want, but this md command or make a directory command will create a new folder in that path where you are located. As we are located on desktop, then by typing in md space and we are giving a folder name and hitting enter, it will create a new folder. So let's hit enter, and as you can see on our desktop now there appeared another folder which is new folder. So md command is basically used only for creating empty folders. Now let's go into this my folder which we created in previous tutorial by using GUI or graphical user interface. If I click in there, you can see that there is currently located also one file, my file, which we created also in previous tutorial. So let's navigate from our desktop to next path cd or change directory into my folder and hit enter. And now I am in Marty desktop and in my folder which is located on desktop. And if I type in here command dir to see what is in this my folder, you will see that there is currently this my file.txt. But let's open this folder up, my folder, so you can see what will happen if you also would want to, for example, create an empty directory in this folder. To do that, firstly, before I even do this, let's clean the screen by typing command cls, which we also have learned, and hit enter. So we clean our command prompt, and let's create another folder in this my folder where we are currently located. To do that, also type in a command md space, and you can give any name of your folder what you want. I will call this folder new folder and hit enter. It also created here a new folder. So the main purpose of the command md is to make a directory or to make a new empty folder. As we are located in desktop and in my folder, it created this new folder. And in this video we are going to learn another command. But before we open a command line, again I want to show you something. As you can see, here is the folder which we created in previous video. If we click into this new folder, you can see that this is empty folder. But if we click on this my folder, if we click into it, you will see that we have created there a new folder, and we have created there my file in also previous tutorials, if you are following this course from the very beginning. And in this tutorial I would want to show you how you can delete any folders on your computer. And to do that, first let's open a CMD or command prompt. You can type in search command prompt and click on the icon, or you can type in CMD and hit enter. And now we are by default in our users directory. As you see, we are in users directory and we are in our users directory, which in my case is is called Marty. And who are watching this, you already know it and you know where to locate this on your file system on your Windows computer. But now let's get into our desktop, and to do that let's use the command cd or change directory space and let's type in desktop and hit enter, and now we are in desktop. And to make sure that we are in desktop, let's type in command dir to list all folders, and we can see here all these folders which we have on our desktop. We have new folder, my folder and images. This is also here images, my folder and new folder. Let's say that there is a scenario and you would like to delete some folders on your computer, and here comes another command which allows you to do exactly that, and this command is rmdir. So for example, if we would want to now delete this folder which is new folder, or we for example could create a new folder by using a command which we learned in previous video, which is md or make directory. Let's create a new folder, let's add a space, let's type in some folder name. So I will type in test folder and hit enter, and now as you can see we have also another folder which is called test folder. But if we would want to delete this test folder, we can use the command rmdir, and to use this command to delete only empty folders, I will show you how you can delete full folders with folders and files as well. But to delete only empty folders, we use command rmdir, then space, and then we need to specify a folder's name. We will delete test folder, as this is the name of this folder which we just created, and hit enter. And as you see, this folder has now been deleted. But if we will, for example, now try to delete the folder with my folder, as you can see this one where we have, if we click into it, where we have folder and where we have file located within it, I will use the command cls to clean the screen so you can see everything what is happening on this command prompt window. And if I will type a command rmdir and space and my folder, because I am intending now or trying to delete this folder from my computer, and I will hit enter, you will see that this is telling us the directory is not empty. So by using a command rmdir, you can delete only empty folders, but if those folders will not be empty, you will not be able to delete them. So to delete the folders which has also files and folders within them, we need to use such a thing as attributes, because there are also attributes which are available on different commands which you can use within your command line. And for example, for some particular command, if you would like to see an attribute, you can type in the command name. In our scenario, this is rmdir and space and then / and question mark, and hit enter. And rmdir or command name and / and question mark gives you all other options which you can use with that particular command. And here you can see that we can use attribute / s that allows us to remove all directories and files in the specified directory. So pretty much if we will be using / s after our rmdir and then specifying this folder's name, which is my folder, this will delete this folder with all files and with all directories within this folder. So let's do it. Let's type in a command rmdir, then space / and s space, and now let's specify this folder's name which we want to delete. So this folder is not empty, this is my folder, and hit enter. And in this scenario you will see that this will prompt us my folder, are you sure, yes or no. This is prompting us, are we sure that we want to delete this folder, because this folder has some files and folders within this folder. We specify Y for yes and hit enter. And as you see, now this folder, my folder, has been deleted from our computer. And there is also a quiet mode which is /q. This is quiet mode. Do not ask if OK to remove our directory or tree with S. This means that if we would be using /s and then /q, this would allow us to delete a folder which has files and folders within it without prompting us do we want to delete it. So let's try it and let's enter this folder, new folder, which we have here on our desktop. So to enter it, let's use the cd or change directory command and let's enter a folder, new folder. and hit enter. And as you can see, now we are in new folder. Let's open it up. We are in this particular new folder, which is user, Smarty, desktop, and new folder. So we are located within it, as we are in user, Smarty, desktop, and new folder. So in this new folder, let's create a directory. So to create a directory, from previous tutorial you remember that we use a command md or make a directory space, and then we type a folder name. I will call this folder simply a folder and hit enter. And this will allow us, as you can see, create a new folder within this new folder. But now if I will use a command rmdir and will specify this folder's name folder and will try to remove it, you will see that this will remove this folder because that folder is absolutely empty. So let's recreate this folder, and to recreate the folder there is another thing what we will learn in this tutorial is if you would want to return to the previous commands which you have been executing within particular session, you can use on your keyboard up arrows and down arrows. As you see, now I'm hitting up arrow and I'm returning to my previous commands which I have been executing. So for example, if I would want to return to command and make a directory md test folder, so I will create again test folder. I hit up arrow or down arrow on my keyboard until I return to that command, and then I hit enter, and this will create a test folder within this directory. But now if I would want to delete this new folder which is located on our desktop, I will type in cls to clear the command line screen, and I will navigate one folder back by typing in cd or change directory and two dots. As you remember from previous tutorials, by typing cd and two dots, this will navigate one directory back. We have navigated from desktop new folder back out to our desktop. And now if I would want to delete this new folder which is located on our desktop, we can do so by typing in rmdir space / and s that specifies that we want to delete entire tree within this particular directory, and then another space and / and q. This means that we want to delete it in quiet mode. This means that we don't want to receive any prompts whether we want to delete or not, because we are absolutely sure that we want to delete this directory with all its folders which are located in it and with all its files, and space and folder name which we want to delete. So in our scenario, as you see on our desktop, the folder's name is new folder. So let's type in a new folder and hit enter. And as you see, this folder now from our desktop has been deleted, and it didn't prompted us, and this command rmdir with /s with /q and folder's name, it didn't prompted us whether we want to delete this folder or not. And yes, this is how you can use rmdir command. So if you use only rmdir command, you can remove only folder if it is empty. If you specify it with /s, this means that you want to delete that folder with all its subdirectories and all files and all contents what is within that folder. And if you don't want to be prompted, then /q, and you will not be prompted whether you are sure that you want to delete this or that folder. And at the end you are specifying folder's name and hitting enter. And in this tutorial I am going to show you how to create a file by using command line. And to do that, let's open a command line by typing in search cmd and hitting enter. This will open our command line. We are in our home directory. We are in our directory which is Smarty. If you are watching my tutorials, you know how to find this already in your file system. And here let's navigate to our desktop. Let's type in cd or change directory and desktop and hit enter. And now as you can see, we are in user Smarty and we are on our desktop. So we are here, so we can see the files which we will be creating. And to create a file by using a command line, we use the command echo and space, and after space we type in dot and closing triangle bracket. And after the closing triangle bracket, all we need to do is write a file name which we want to create, file name, and we need to specify also file extension. For example, file name.txt or index.html and many other file names, whatever you want. You can even create a .jpeg files if you wish to do so, but we will create for this tutorial two files. So first one we will create, and we will call this file my file.txt, and hit enter. And you will see that this file now it appeared here on our screen. And if we would want to create index.html file, we can also do it by also typing in echo command and space dot and closing triangle bracket and index.html and hit enter. And this will create, as you can see, another file, index.html. In this video, I'm going to show you how to write to file by using command prompt or CMD. In previous tutorial, we created these two files by using our command prompt, myfile.txt, another is index.html, and I'm going to show you how to write HTML code into HTML file and how to write the simple text into the text file. To do that, let's open a command prompt, type in CMD in search, and hit enter. This will open a command prompt. I'm in my Marty directories. Let's go to our desktop. So we navigate to our desktop. Type in cd space and desktop and hit enter. See, we are in our desktop. And if I type in dir, hit enter, you will see all these files and folders here located here. So let's type in cls to clean this command line screen. And now let's write something to myfile.txt. And to write to the file, we type a command the same which we use to create these files, which is a command echo and space, and then you can type something whatever you want into this file. I will write there hello world and space and then triangle bracket. After this triangle bracket you put another space and specify the file name to which you would want to write. In our scenario this is myfile.txt and hit enter. And we have written to our file. And to check if we have written to this file, we can right click on this file and you can open it in your text editor. As I am using my default text editor Notepad++, I will be opening it in on Notepad++. Click on open and you can see we have written to this file. And every time when you are writing or using this command echo to write to the file, it will overwrite everything else what you have already written to this file. And to check this, we can go back to our command line, and in our command line by using arrows up or down, let's return to previous command which we have written, which was echo hello world. And here I will change this hello world to some other text. I will type in some other text. Now we are echoing or writing to this file some other text, and we are writing to myfile.txt and hit enter. And now if we will go to our text editor, here you will see that there have been changes, the file has been modified. We click on yes and we can see that we have written some other text to this file. So by using echo command, whenever you are writing this way something to your file, this will override the text or the contents which was already by default on this particular file to which you are writing. But now I'm going to show you how you can write HTML code. For example, if you would wish to write some code, it could be HTML, it could be PHP or any other code where you need to escape triangle brackets. We do exactly the same way. Type in echo space. Let's first write h1 tag if you are familiar with HTML, and let's type in also hello world and exclamation mark, and let's close this tag off. First we will echo h1 tag, so space and triangle bracket and space and file name where we want to write to. In our scenario this is index.html and hit enter, and you will see that there was this very first error that closing triangle bracket was unexpected at this time, and this is because HTML tags or any other tags in other programming languages, these triangle opening and triangle closing tags, they need to be escaped. And to escape these tags, let's hit an arrow up, and before each of these triangle brackets at the very start, let's put escape tag, and to enter escape tab, click on your keyboard shift, hold it down, and above number 6 on your keyboard there is this escape tag. So before each of these triangular brackets, let's place this escape tag, and before last one, so it is escaping these triangular brackets, and hit enter. And as you can see, now it doesn't return any errors, so this means that this HTML code has been written to in index.html file. And to check this, we can also right click on the file, and we can open this file also in some text editor. I will choose another app and I will open it also in Notepad++ and just once, so you can see that we have written this HTML to this particular file. But if you would want to open this index.html file in a browser, we can also do that. I will move my browser here so you can see it, and we will open this file which is located index.html on our user Smarty desktop. Let's open it in browser. And to open a file in browser, we type in a command start space and index.html and hit enter. And as you can see, now we have opened this file in our browser. Hello world. If I right click on this file and if I will click here on inspect, you can see that there is this code which we have written, which is hello world. Or you could check this code another way on this particular file. If you right click on it and you click on view page source, you will also see that this code which we have written to this file is also visible here in this page source of this particular HTML page which we have created. And here similar way, if you would be writing another code to this HTML file or to any file by using this echo command, you would be overwriting all previous content which you have written to that file. And in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to delete files. As you remember, during previous tutorials we created these two files, where one is myfile.txt and another file is index.html. So as I showed you how to write to those files by using command line. And in this video I'm going to show you two ways how you can delete them. One is by using relative path and another one is by using an absolute path. So as in this tutorial you will learn also what is relative path and what is absolute path. First thing what we will do, let's open a command prompt by typing in search cmd, hit enter, and this will open a command prompt. Whenever you are opening in user mode your command prompt, you are always seeing the full path to the location where you are located in. This means that this starts from C, then you are in users directory, and this is your default directory on your computer where is all your files or your desktop. So let's have a look in computer graphical user interface. Where is that? To do that, let's open a file explorer by clicking on folder at the very bottom, and here in the left navigation at the very bottom click into this PC and you will see your drives. In my scenario currently there is only one drive, which is C drive. Usually the main or the very first drive will be your C drive, where you will have all information about your computer. There will be information about all users on this computer, information about Microsoft documents and about all operating system. If we click into this drive, you can see here that we have here folder users. If we click into this users, you can see this folder Marty. And this is exactly the same folder, Marty, which is located here. So the full path to this particular folder, to all folders which are within Marty, is C column / users and Marty. And we can easily check it by right clicking here in this navigation. Currently we are in users because we entered users folder. Let's click into this Marty, and now let's right click here on this top navigation where is the address bar, and you will see exactly the same full path, C column / users Marty. And this is exactly the same what we have here on our command line. And all our data in this folder, like I mentioned, for each user which will be created on your computer, because on Microsoft Windows operating system like Windows 10 or Windows 11 you can create more than one user on one computer. And for this particular user, in this scenario this is me, all my information or my desktop. If you click here, for example, if I will click here in desktop, you will see exactly the same information what is on my desktop. If I will go back, you can see all my other information. If I would want to check my downloads, I would click into downloads and you will see what is in my downloads. If I click on the top bar, you can see the full path, or this is also known as absolute path. And if you would want to navigate by using command line to this path, you would have to enter this C column / and then folder where you want to go and the final destination folder where you want to be at the very end. Currently we are in the end folder, which is downloads. If I will copy this path, and if I will copy that absolute path, and if I will type it in here in command prompt cd space and paste this path, which is C column /users Marty downloads, as I am in my Marty downloads directory, and I will hit enter. You will see that currently I am in users Marty and in downloads directory. And if I would want to see all these files and folders which are located within that directory, I type in a command dir, which we also have learned in previous tutorials. And here you will see all these files and folders which are in this downloads directory. Now let's type cls to clean command prompt and hit enter. So now we return back to downloads. But now, like I mentioned, we want to delete a file on our directory, and we can do it even from this downloads directory. If we will be using an absolute pass, we can delete any file or any folder, or we can interact with any file or any folder from anywhere where we are on the command prompt. For example, I will open again my file explorer. I will go to this PC. I will click into C, I will click into users, I will go into my directory, and here, as you can see on my desktop, there are these two files, myfile.txt and index.html. So as I'm in my directory, here currently you can see that there is my desktop folder. I will click into it, and you can see that here is all these files like images, Cisco packet tracer, index.html and myfile.txt, which we want to delete, but we will be deleting only one file by using this full path. So pretty much I could copy this path, and then I open a command prompt. I want to delete a file, myfile.txt. And to delete any files, all you need to do is type a command del and space, then absolute path or the file name which you would want to delete. But we will be using, like I mentioned, absolute path. So absolute path to our desktop is users Marty directory, and this is desktop, and we want to delete a file which is called myfile.txt on this desktop. And to do that, specify a file name, so we type in a \, and at the end we are specifying a file name, so myfile.txt. This means that from downloads directory, like I mentioned, if you are using a full path, you can interact with files and folders from anywhere, because you are targeting exactly that full path which you would want to interact with. In this case, we want to use a del command to delete a file, myfile.txt, which is located on our desktop. However, we are located in our downloads directory. So now let's click enter, and you will see that this file will be deleted from our desktop. So delete, as you saw, that file from our desktop was deleted, and we used an absolute path, and this is the way how you can use absolute path. And there is also so-called relative path. This means that we can use a shorter version or directly when we are in that particular directory where we want to interact with particular files or directories. I will go back to my command prompt, and currently we are in Marty in downloads. However, we want to navigate to our desktop, and to navigate to our desktop we use the command cd, and we can navigate in two ways. One way would be if we would go back into Marty, and then from Marty we would type in that we want to go to desktop, but I will also use a full path, so straight away from downloads, so I am able to navigate to our desktop. And to do that, let's type in C column /users /Marty. My desktop folder is in my Marty directory, and / and desktop, and hit enter. I navigated directly to my desktop. And now again, if I would want to delete this file index.html, I would use a relative path. This means that we are using a small or short path without specifying the full path, which starts with C column or with /, because you could also write absolute path with simply /. So now let's delete this file index.html, and to do that, type in a command again del, because we are using a del command if you want to delete files, and this command works only for files. If you want to delete folders or empty folders, we use another command which we have previewed in one of my previous videos. So type del space and file name index.html and hit enter, and this file will be deleted from our desktop. And in this scenario we didn't use a full path, we use the relative path because we are directly in that particular directory, and by using this command we are interacting directly with that particular file which we wanted to interact with in these directories. And usually if you want to check where is your full path or where your file system starts, like I mentioned in Windows, if we open a file explorer, here in the left navigation, if we click into this PC, our file system starts with Windows C, because all files and all folders for this computer is in this C drive. If we click into it, then here if we click to the right from the address bar, you will see C column and backslash. If you would want to check where your path starts, you could also type in cd or change directory space and backslash and hit enter, and you would get out to the very top folder of your file system. And as you can see, when we typed in cd or change directory backslash, this moved us out to the C column backslash. We can open again this folder, go into C directory, and we check what files are here. And if we open now a command prompt, and if we will type in command dir to list all folders and files where in that location where we are located, and hit enter, you will see exactly the same folders which are located here. And today we are going to learn how to use copy command, and I will be using some also commands which we have learned in previous videos. Let's go to our desktop, and first thing, let's open a command prompt, and to do that let's search for cmd and hit enter. Let's create a new file here on our desktop. As you know, currently we are in our users directory, and our users directory, for those who doesn't know, let's open a folder. Please go to this PC. All your files and all your folders are in this drive in Windows C. If you click into it, you will see here users folder, and here is our Marty directory. Let's click in, and all my desktops, downloads and everything is in here, and this is exactly where we are located: C backslash users and Marty. I'm repeating this information as this is the tutorial for absolute beginners, so you have a visual understanding what and where we are exactly doing. And if I click here in address bar to the right, you will see this is the same path: C backslash users and Marty. So let's close this down, and this is where we are located: C drive backslash users and Marty. And we need to navigate to our desktop, and to navigate to our desktop we type in command cd or change directory and desktop and hit enter. And now we are also here on our desktop, and here on our desktop, if we want to create a new file, let's use one of the commands which we have learned previously. To create files we use the command echo and space and then dot and closing triangle bracket, and after this closing triangle bracket we can give a name to our file. I will call this file myfile.txt and hit enter. And you can see that new file appeared here on our desktop as we created myfile.txt. So to use a copy command to create a new file, all we need to do is in command prompt type in a command copy, then space, and then that file which you would like to copy. And in our scenario we want to copy file myfile.txt. So let's type in myfile.txt and then space and the new name for this file, because if you are copying the same file on the same location, the names of files can't be the same. So we need to give some other name to this file, and I will give a new name for this file, and I will call this file new file.txt. However, the contents of this new file will be exactly the same as this myfile.txt, as content is not changing. As with copy command, what we are doing, we are taking this myfile.txt, which is this file, and we are creating exactly the same copy, only with different name, which in our scenario is new file.txt. Hit enter, and you will see that one file is copied, and here new file.txt appeared on our desktop. But now let's do a following thing, and let's create a directory or new folder with our command line here on our desktop. And to do that, let's use another command which we have already learned, which is md or make a directory, space, and let's give our folder a name. And I will call this folder my folder and hit enter. And this will create a new folder here on our desktop. And now, for example, if we would want to copy this file myfile.txt into this folder, we can also easily do it. Let's open this my folder so you can see what is happening here. And this is our my folder, and here is our desktop. We are currently on desktop, and from desktop we want to copy this file myfile.txt into this my folder which we just created here. So let's do it. Let's type again this my file. As you remember, the first we need to specify always that file or the path to that file which we would like to copy. So type in copy space, and first we are specifying the file which we would like to copy. Let's type in after the space only this file name, so my file.txt and space, and after this space we are specifying where we want to copy this file, and like I mentioned, we want to copy it to my folder backslash, and then we give exactly the same name as in this my folder. There is no name with this file myfile.txt, so I will also type in myfile.txt and hit enter, and as you can see, one file copied, and here in our folder another file appeared with name myfile.txt. So what we did here is, by using a command copy, as we are located on desktop, we copied myfile.txt as first parameter which you need to give is the file which you are trying to copy, or pass to the file which you are trying to copy, and second parameter is where you want to move this file and how you want to call this file. As we wanted to move this file to my folder, which is also located on our desktop, but firstly we needed to enter this folder, so we typed in my folder backslash, and then you specify the name of the file, how you want to call this file which you are copying in new place, and we call this file also myfile.txt. And the next step, I am going to create a new folder also within this my folder, and I will call that folder new folder. And to do this, we will use again command md for make a directory, then space. As we are located on desktop, we need to specify that we want to create this new folder in this my folder. So type in name my folder backslash and the name of the folder which you would like to create. So I will create new folder and hit enter, and this will create a new folder, as you can see, in this my folders directory which is located on our desktop. And now also in this my folder which is located on desktop, I will create another file by using a command echo, as we want to create a new file, then space dot closing triangle bracket, and then we need to specify that we want to create this new file in my folder which is located on desktop. So I type in my folder, as we need to enter this my folder, then backslash, and there I will create also a file first.txt and hit enter, and this will create another file, and on our desktop I will create another directory. So to make a directory in that path where we are in, let's type a command md make a directory, and I will create a new directory here, new directory. You can call this folder however you want. I just created and called it new directory and hit enter. And now, as you can see, a new folder has been created on our desktop. Then in next step, let's say that we want to copy all files from my folder, which is located here on our desktop and where we currently have one folder, and we have this first.txt and myfile.txt, and we want to copy all of them into the new directory which we have created. So to do that, let's open a command prompt, and in command prompt let's type in copy, and first parameter after space we need to specify what we want to copy. So we want to copy everything from my folder. As we are located on desktop, we type in my folder backslash, and to copy everything from this my folder we need to type in an asterisk sign, which you can type in by clicking on shift on your keyboard and holding it down and clicking on number 8, as asterisk is always located above number 8 on your keyboard. Then type in dot and then another asterisk sign. So first parameter after copy is always from where you want to copy. Here we are specifying that we want to copy from my folder, which is located on our desktop, as we are currently in our desktop, and with asterisk dot asterisk after the backslash we are specifying that we want to copy all files which are located in my folder. And second parameter is after space we need to specify where we want to move this, and we want to copy this to our new directory on our desktop. So also as we are already located in our desktop, we simply type in new directory and hit enter, and this will copy, as you can see, from my folder everything to new directory. And if we open now this new directory which is located on our desktop, you will see that it copied only files. So here you can see the problem with copy commands, that by using copy command you can copy only files, you can't copy directories. However, there is a stronger commands which allow you to copy all files and directories, which we will review in next tutorial. And today we are going to learn another command. In previous video we had a look at copy command, and today I'm going to show you even stronger command, which is xcopy command. And this command can do everything the same what copy command can do, and it can do even more, as I will show you in this video. Let's open a command line by typing in search cmd and hitting enter. We are again in our users directory. Let's go to our desktop by typing cd change directory and space, and let's go to desktop, type in desktop and hit enter, and now we are in our desktop. And now let's first, the similar way as we did with copy command, let's copy this file, my file.txt, and to do that with xcopy command, type in xcopy space and then file name which you would like to copy. So our file we want to copy is my file.txt, then space, and second parameter, similar as with simple copy command, we need to specify the name of the file, we need to specify where we want to copy it and how we want to call this file. And I will call this file new file.txt. And similar as with copy command, when we are using xcopy, all we are doing, we are copying the first file which we want to copy. So in first parameter we are using the file or file destination which we want to copy, and in second parameter we are specifying the name of that file. And this new file.txt will have exactly the same content as this file, my file.txt, only this will be a new copy of the same file with a different name. And hit enter, and here it will prompt us that does a new file.txt which we are creating, whether if we are assuming to create a directory or file. And as this is the file and we are assuming to create a file, here we simply specify f and this new file will be created, as you can see here. And next thing what we can do with xcopy command is similar to what we were doing in previous video with copy command, is we can copy from one destination to another. And let's do it, let's copy this new file.txt into this my folder. If I click into the my folder, you will see that there is currently only one folder which is also empty, which is new folder. But now let's use xcopy command to copy this new file.txt into this my folder. And to do that, let's type in a command xcopy space. Then first we need to specify a destination and name of the file which we are intending to copy. So this is also located here on desktop, which is new file.txt. So let's type in new file.txt and space, and we need to specify where we want to copy it. And we want to copy it into my folder. So we type my folder backslash and this file name, which is new file.txt, and hit enter. And here is exactly the same. It will be asking us, does my folder new file.txt specify a file name or a directory? And we are also specifying, or pretty much telling, that we are copying the file, not a directory. And here we also click on F and it will copy this file into this directory. As you can see here now, we have new file copied from our desktop into my folder. So it's very similar what we were doing with copy command. And now if I will click on arrow up on my keyboard to return back to this xcopy command new file.txt, here I will change this new file.txt to this myfile.txt. So I can copy also this myfile.txt also into this my folder. And let's type instead myfile.txt, and we will also copy it into my folder, and here at the very end we will give it a different name. Instead of calling it new file.txt, so these names are different, we will call it also here myfile.txt. As we are copying now from our desktop myfile.txt, which is this file on our desktop, we are copying it also in my folder, as you can see here, and we are giving the name myfile.txt. However, you could give any name you want. For example, instead of myfile, you could call this file myfile123.txt if you wish to do so. It doesn't matter what name you are giving to this file, as the contents of that file anyway will be the same as this file or first parameter file which you are trying to copy, and hit enter. And again it will ask whether we are copying file or directory. Here we simply type in F and this file will be copied, and here now you can see that there is myfile.txt and new file.txt. So as you can see, we can do exactly the same as with copy command, and similar way as with copy command. Now let's copy all files from this my folder and let's copy them into this other directory, where I have another folder on my desktop which is empty, which is called new directory. If I will open it up, you can see that this is absolutely empty, and now from my folder I will copy all these files to this new directory. Let's open a command prompt. Let's type in CLS to clear this command prompt screen, and let's type a command again, xcopy space, and now to copy all files which are in my folder, so type in my folder / and asterisk sign, and to type an asterisk sign, click on shift key on your keyboard, hold it down and click on 8, as asterisk sign is about number 8, and this is specifying that we want to copy everything what is in my folder, and now space, and where we want to copy it to. We want to copy it to new directory. So new directory, and hit enter. And with this command we copied everything from my folder, which is this one, to new directory. If I open now a new directory, you will see the two files have been copied, and here you can see that by xcopy folders also were not copied to this new directory, but only files were copied to this new directory. As here in my folder, if we would copy everything, then we would have to copy this folder as well. However, this folder is not copied, and this is exactly as where all capabilities of simple copy command ends. As with xcopy, if you would wish, you could also copy all folders and all directories and all subdirectories from one folder to another. And to show you how you can do it, let's go back to our new directory. I will delete these files. So let's go to my folder, and now let's open a command prompt, and let's now copy all files, including folders which are in my folder, to new directory. So now let's clear again with CLS command prompt screen, type in a command xcopy space, and then we need to use two switches. First one is /s, then space, /e, and /s tells that we want to copy all files and all folders, and E tells that we also want to copy all empty directories. Then space, then we need to specify from where we want to copy it, so we want to copy it from my folder, space, and where to we want to copy it. We want to copy it to folder which is called new directory. So let's type in new directory and hit enter, and as you can see, all files and all folders from this my folder have been copied to new directory. Xcopy command can do exactly the same what we were doing with copy command. However, with copy command you can't copy from one place to another place folders, where with xcopy you can also copy folders, not only files. And in next tutorial I'm going to show you even more stronger command for copying files and folders in Windows command line. And today we are going to discuss another command, which is robocopy. In previous two tutorials we discussed copy command and xcopy command, and those commands are mainly used for simple file copying or for copying files or creating duplicate files in the same directory or moving files from place to place, where robocopy is mainly used for copying files from folders to folders. And today I'm going to show you how you can do this. So let's open a command prompt by typing in search cmd and hitting enter, and we will be using these two directories. Like I mentioned, if you would be trying to execute robocopy command the same way for simple file copying, where you are trying to copy one file to another file, this will not be possible, as for robocopy, like I mentioned, this is mainly used for copying from one folder to another folder. In many cases you would want to use an absolute path for this copying. To not use an absolute path, I will enter desktop by typing cd or change directory space and desktop and hitting enter. So I am in desktop here, and here I have two folders. One is new directory, as you can see this is empty if I open it, and another one is my folder. And if I open this one, then in my folder you can see that there are two directories or two folders, where one is empty folder and another folder is with two files. If I click into it, here you can see these two files, and I have here in my folder also another two files. So what we will do is we will copy files from my folder, which is on our desktop, to this new directory by using robocopy command. And I will show you two ways how you can do it. So first one is if we type in robocopy, then we specify the folder name from which we want to copy. We want to copy from my folder, so type in my folder space and then the name of the folder where you want to copy these files or these contents from my folder, and we want to copy to this new directory which is empty. Let's type in new directory and hit enter. You can see that this copying took place, and if we open now new directory, you will see that only files were copied, so no directories from my folder were copied. We need to use a switch, or this is also called an attribute, on this command to be able to copy also all folders and all files in that particular directory. So I will type in a command cls to clear the command line window, and let's repeat the same command. I will click on arrow up on my keyboard until I will return back to this command which I just executed, robocopy, then my folder from where we want to copy, and we want to copy into new directory. But first I will open this new directory and I will delete these two files. And now let's open a command prompt, and to copy all files and folders we need to specify another, like I mentioned, attribute space / and e, and this will copy all files and all folders from my folder into the new directory. And now let's hit enter, and you can see that copying took place. There are no errors. Now we open new directory. You can see that these folders and all files have been copied. Like I mentioned, robocopy doesn't work the same way as copy. As with copy, you can copy single files, but by using robocopy, first thing what you should know is that you can copy only from folder to folder. And another thing is that in robocopy there is a lot of advanced features which go beyond copy and xcopy command. Robocopy offers such features as resumable copies that can pause and resume transfers. Robocopy also offers mirroring that can synchronize directories by deleting files in destinations that are not present in the source. Another feature of robocopy is file filtering that allows copying files based on criteria like size, date and extensions. Also, robocopy offers robust error handling, which can retrieve failed copies and handle network interruptions more gracefully. And robocopy also offers logging and reporting that provides detailed logs on the copy operation. And robocopy also offers scheduling, which allows this copying or scheduling to run at specific times. And if you would want to see more information about robocopying, you can type in command robocopy space / and question mark and hit enter, and you will be able to see more information what other options you can use with this robocopy command. And today we are going to learn how to move files. In previous videos we learned 3 commands how to copy files from one place to another, and when you are copying file you are not deleting those files from that location from where where you are copying these files. But when you are moving the files, what we will be doing in this tutorial, you are deleting the files in that location where those files were located. And we will be using these two directories or these folders. One is my folder, there is already some files in it, and this new directory. So let's start by opening a command prompt by typing cmd and hitting enter. And in our command prompt, to not use an absolute path, let's straight away navigate to our desktop. And to do that, type in cd or change directory and go to your desktop. Type in desktop and hit enter. And now we are on our users Marty and desktop. So now what we will be doing is from our desktop we will move this file myfile.txt into this directory. To use this command we type in move space and then the location of the file or directory which you would want to move. In our scenario we are located on desktop and we want to move this myfile.txt. So type in myfile.txt space and then we need to specify a second parameter which is where we want to move this file, and we want to move this file into new directory. It is into this folder. So we type in new directory. Once you have done this, hit enter, and as you can see, this file now from your desktop has been moved into this new directory folder. And as you can see, there is a difference between copy command, as when you are copying those files which you are copying, they are not getting deleted in that place, where when we are using a move command, we are pretty much moving files from one location to another. We open up this new directory, let's delete this file, and now let's close this new directory and let's open this my folder. As now we will be moving all these folders and all these files my folder directory to this new directory. We also use a move command, so type in a command move space and then folder which you would want to move, folder or the path of that folder. So type in my folder, then space and then destination folder, which in our scenario is new directory. So type in new directory and hit enter. And as you will see now, if we open now this new directory, all this my folder has been moved into this new directory, and it has deleted this my folder from our desktop. Today we are going to look at net user command, and this is the command that allows you to add users, delete users, change passwords of users, or view the user information and everything to do with your users. But first, before I even open a command prompt, I will show you how you can see these users in your graphical user interface. Right click on your Windows icon, which is your start icon located in the left bottom corner, right click on it and go into system. Click here into the accounts in the left navigation. If we click into the accounts and we scroll down, we will see here other users. I'm using Windows 11. In Windows 10 this could be a little bit different, so click on other users and here you will see all users which are created on your computer. And as you know, in your computer you can create more than one user, and to all those users you can give their login details, so when they log in they can see only their information. So each user's account on Windows operating system is as a separate account. They have their own desktops, they have their own downloads. And now let's open a command prompt. Let's type in search cmd, hit enter. Once we open a command prompt, we will be located in our account. My folder for my account is called Marty, that's why you are seeing here last past Marty. And here with other users you will not be able to see your administrative account. As you know, to see your administrative account, click on folder or file explorer. Let's click here at the bottom of the screen and then you scroll down, and here in the left navigation you click into Windows C. And here on this Windows C, if we click on the top navigation, you see that we are in C. Here is users folder. If we click into this users folder, you will see this Marty folder. Where is my desktop, where's my documents, where's my downloads, and the same applies to other users. And that's why whenever we are opening a command prompt in users mode, we can see that we are in users and we are in our directory. But like I mentioned, you as administrator, you can create other users on your computer. As you can see here under accounts on my computer, there is currently created another user whose name is Jack. But now let's use this net user command. And to use a net user command, we type in net space and user and hit enter, and you will be able to see all users. Here you can see also this Jack user. By typing net space user command, you can see all users which are on your computer. Another use case for net user is to add a new user or delete a user. But to be able to do those actions, if you would want to add or delete user, you would need to be in administrator's mode. As we are logged in as simple user, we will not be able to do it, and whenever we will try to create a new user or delete user, we will get an error. So let's close down command prompt and let's type in again cmd or command prompt, and once you will start typing it, you will see this command or system icon, command prompt, right click on it and let's run as administrator. And to notice that you are running as administrator or in administrative mode, you can read this here at the top of this command prompt, or you can see that you are in system 32. This indicates that you are using command prompt as an administrator. And now let's create another user. Currently you can see that we have this one user which is Jack, or we could also test it by typing net space user and hitting enter, and we can see that there is this user Jack as well. But if we would want to create a new user, we can do it by typing in net space user, then space, and then you are specifying a username. If that username will have only one word in the name, then you don't need to use any quotation marks. However, if that username which you are trying to create will have 2 or more words in its username, you will need to specify it with quotation marks, with double quotation marks. For example, if your username would be John Doe, in this scenario you would need to use a quotation marks. But if you would be typing only John, you wouldn't need to specify any quotation marks. And second parameter, after a space, and after you have specified the password, then space, and then we need to type / and add attribute. Once you have typed net user, then you gave this user a name, and then you gave the password. In my case, I made very simple password, which is simply password. Usually you would give much more complicated password, then space / and add, and hit enter, and the command completed successfully. And now if we will go to our accounts and users, I will need to refresh this, so I will click on accounts and again I will go to other users. There you will see that we have created this user which is Joe Doe. But now, for example, if you would want to delete the user from your users, you can also easily do it also by typing net user command. Then you need to specify a username. If that username has more than one word, then you need to also use a quotation marks. In our case, we will be deleting this Joe Doe user, Joe space Doe, quotation marks, then space / and delete, and hit enter. And this will delete this user Joe Doe. As you can see, this command completed successfully. And again, we can go back to graphical user interface. I will click into accounts, I will click into other users, and you will see that Joe Doe account has been deleted. And now I have cleaned my command prompt, and now if you would want to see all information about some particular user, let's say we have here only one user left, and if we would want to see all his information, we can also do it by typing in net user, then space, and specifying that username. As Jack has only one word in his name, we don't need to use quotation marks, so we type in net user space Jack and hit enter. And here we can see all information that his username is Jack. As you can see, if he would have a full name, then there would be his full name. And here we can see workstations which are allowed. Here we can also see that local group membership, in which group he is or what kind of permissions he has, as he is simple user, and other information you can see by using this command. So yes guys, this is how you can use a net user command in command prompt. In previous tutorial of this command line course, I showed you how to use net user command to create users, how to delete users, how to see information about users, but we missed one thing: how to change password of users in command line. And to do that, let's type in search command prompt hover over your command prompt icon. This is system icon, right click on it and run it as administrator. As you remember from previous tutorial, we need to run command prompt in administrative mode. You can see that we are in system 32, and to use the command net user to change password, it is fairly simple. So let's type in net user, then space, then username for which you would want to change a password. And in our scenario, as you can see, we have here one user which is Jack, and we would like to change or give him a new password. So we don't even need to know his password to be able to change his password. And to do that, first parameter we need to specify is the username of the user to which we would want to change a password. So this is Jack, and then space, and then simply type in new password. In your case, you give more complicated password, but in my scenario, I simply specify this a new password and hit enter, and the password will be changed. As you can see, the command completed successfully, and now user Jack has a password which is new password. Hello guys, and welcome back to Windows command line course, and today I'm going to show you how to solve net user access denied with system error 5. And if we now open a command prompt, I will just open it up, I will show you what I mean. If I try to change with net user Jack's password, as you can see here, and if I will hit enter, you will see that system error 5 has occurred and access is denied. And here the solution is that you are using not in administrative mode. So to escape this error, go again to search, type in command prompt, and right click on command prompt and click here on run as administrator. And once we will run now this the same command net user space, and we will want to change a password for Jack with space, new password, you hit enter, you will see that this command completed successfully. So the problem was that you were not in administrative mode.